Hey there, welcome to another episode of My Brand New Homes. I am Stephanie Mills, your host of this episode. Today we are talking to Ceci. Joey, welcome to the podcast.
It's good to be here. This is my first podcast, so I'm looking forward to it.
We're so honored. That's awesome. So, Joey, we want to get right to it. What inspires you with your work? How did you even get started? You are with Breland Homes.
I work with Breland Homes. I haven't always been in real estate, but I really like and enjoy complex projects that bring together kind of different parts of the community and really get something done that years later you can drive by and point at it and say, I helped do that. So we've got a couple of those projects. So it's been a lot of fun.
So really being part of a legacy there.
Absolutely. And just something that that changes the community, something that people in the community can use that again, kind of has that little bit of a timeless feel to it. So with Cliff Farms and Town Madison, we have two projects that are very much like that.
And they're beautiful spaces. Our audience has had a chance to come along with us to tour Town Madison and go into Cliff Farms and do lives there. So that's just a great space to even be able to get in the beginning of.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them are really, truly unique properties. The fact that you could put together, 550 acres on each side of the city of Madison like that, a little bit more regional in scope with Town Madison being on the interstate. But again, especially that Cliff Farm with the history from Mr. Clift and the family, it's all been a very, very great process working on both those projects.
So how long have you been in the process of construction and now with Breland Homes?
Well, I always tell everybody Town Madison is an overnight success. It started about 12 or 13 years ago.
Really?
So,
It feels like it's just been yesterday.
Well, the infrastructure there, having to put the roads in and the interchange and going through the approval process with the federal government for that really started a long time ago. And so when people kind of question why things haven't happened quicker, it really has happened as quickly as the infrastructure could be put in there, a lot of which is beyond our control. When you have to go get environmental permits, you've got to go interstate justification studies for the interchange. So, we've moved as fast as the process would allow us. And now we're at the end of that process. And now you really start to see the construction and the things kind of starting to come up out of the ground, and it's really neat.
Well, and the end result is going to be amazing. There's so much going into Town Madison area and Cliff Farms. So just the continued expansion there. So, Joey, our audience is a mix there of current and potential home buyers. So if you're listening right now, Joey's got the inside scoop for you. Can you tell us some of the major growth areas around town that our home buyers should be looking out for?
Well, in this market right now, of course, we've got 18 different communities around North Alabama, from Coleman County to Limestone County, Athens, of course, several here in Madison County. And it just depends on what you're looking for. There's something for everybody. Some people want to be a little bit more removed from downtown. Some people want to be as close as they can. People want smaller yards and less maintenance. Some do still want that yard experience and then go out and mow their own yard. So there's really something for everyone. And unlike other times maybe in our past, there's a much wider variety of products out there for folks, from downtown infill and townhouse type products, condominium type products, different places. Again, all different kind of housing sizes, from $800,000, $900,000 homes to $260,000, $250,000 homes. So it's really something for everyone.
I was literally about to say that. That's the first phrase that came to my mind. Something for everyone. That's great. So for me, you mentioned being closer to downtown. So that's my type of personality. I'm getting into plans, but maybe not so much the yard situation. What about you? What's kind of your
Well, I'm kind of in transition. I had 3 boys. They're now at school, so I've got this kind of big empty house that it's kind of full for the summer while they're home. But it's time for me to start looking at there's I don't really need a bonus room and a game room and all these things.
What? You don't play in the game room?
Yeah. So so maybe time for me again to look at that townhouse, a little less maintenance, not quite as large, and I would love to be downtown or convenient to downtown.
Right.
Someplace like Town Madison, that's one of the selling points to me, is just how close you are to everything. I mean, you've got what's there at Town Madison, but you're right on 565. You can hop on that interchange and you're in downtown Huntsville. You don't even have a traffic light between you and downtown.
Yeah.
That you're there in under 5 minutes. You
Super
can be
convenient.
at Redstone Arsenal very quickly. Airport if you're taking off to go on a good vacation. So it really is a great location as far as accessibility to everything in the community.
Right. Yeah. And then just the neat things that are going into Town Madison too. So you don't even really need to leave to be entertained, fed, taken care of, anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're trying to do, is that kind of that small town feel, that, again, that true, multi-use community that you can kind of, again, the live, work, play that people talk about. But watching it actually come up and develop right there has been very, very neat. We've got our first shop open there with the Yard Milkshake.
Yes.
It's been tremendously successful.
Have you been yet?
I have. I recommend, if you do have young children, you probably want to go before 8 or 9 o'clock, or else they're going to be up till 2 or 3 in the morning with all that sugar.
Sure. Oh my gosh, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you want to take them early, absolutely. So, and we've got 2 more that are, should be opening here in the next 60 days with Moe's Barbecue and I Love Sushi. Those are both kind of in their build out phase. So, and we've got several more restaurants kind of on the way that are either under construction or about to be under construction.
Which there is one that's about to be. I think it's tomorrow. You said, right?
Yes. Yes, we've got kind of it's the groundbreaking.
Oh, groundbreaking
for the J. Alexander.
Not open yet.
Yeah. It's of course a very nice steakhouse out of Franklin, Tennessee. Although I love their steaks, when I go to the neighborhood association meetings out there, the thing everybody seems to talk about the most is the carrot cake. So, you build a steak restaurant, and everybody wants to eat the carrot cake. So, but they'll be under construction. They're already under construction now, but we're going to kind of go ahead and do just kind of a ceremonial groundbreaking. And they should be open along with the Outback Steakhouse late this year, probably November of this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's awesome. So super exciting things to come. And so speaking of the play part of everything of Town Madison, let's talk about the very well-known now Trash Pandas. So you played that huge role in actually getting the new Trash Pandas minor league team going in Town Madison. So which our audience actually has been able to explore with us. So that's pretty exciting. Let's get some more insight. Can you tell us how impactful having that new minor league team in North Alabama will be to this community?
Well, I think it's a great asset for the community, number one, because it really is kind of a workforce development tool. We've got so many people that we're trying to attract to this community. That's one more thing that helps attract to this community. And again, it's just
been successful too.
Very successful. And the way that park is designed with so many different places for meetings, for taking large groups, small groups, so you can take a party of 4 out there and sit around a table and have fun. You can get a box, you can get the party deck, picnic areas, so it's really a place to try to to really bring groups together and a lot more social than the traditional old stadium of just seats in a row. We have plenty of those too, but it really is designed to be that, kind of place for people just to come to. If you've been out there to the Rock Porch over in right field, that's not even a ticketed area. It's a general admission. It's got this nice bar out there. People just go out there and meet and mingle and hang out. And my bet is a lot of them aren't even watching the game. They're out there having a good time. But
socializing.
Yes, it's just supposed to be that kind of central area for people to gather, and it's really, so far has worked out that way. We had our first 6 games there. It we worked out a few of the kinks, but it went very, very well, successful. They come back, they start Tuesday night, and then we'll actually be there for 12 out of 13 nights. So for the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of baseball there at Toyota Field.
And not just baseball, right? When that's not in use for baseball, there's even more that could be used in that space.
Absolutely. And that was one of the reasons why when we were approached by the owners of the team and with the possibility of putting it at Town Madison, that we really latched onto it, because it is something that brings a lot of people to the project and gives the people that live there a lot to do beyond baseball. They did roughly 80 or 90 non-baseball events last year because, of course, coronavirus was there. There was no baseball.
Yeah.
Movie nights, Kentucky Derby parties, of course, the Christmas Galaxy of Lights.
Which was amazing.
Exactly. The stadium experience with, you could come in and have, hot chocolate with Elsa and, all those things.
That's
and
so fun.
That generated another 300,000 people that came through that facility for meetings, large and small. So it really does become that kind of neat place for the community. In the past, these minor league stadiums like Joe Davis, when there wasn't baseball going on, the fence was there and they kind of kept people out. This is a place where they want to find ways for the community to use it, regardless of whether or not baseball is going on or not.
Well, and even how I've noticed how it's been built, it seems welcoming. It seems open. It doesn't seem like it would be really a closed off situation.
Right. You don't, again, you go by Joe Davis, the old baseball model, with it's got a fence and some barbed wire at the top. And,
yeah.
It's,
Can't really
we'll open the gates when we want you to come in, and otherwise the gates are closed.
Yeah.
This really is a welcoming place that
That's
they
awesome.
want you to come out there and visit.
Well, and I've even heard like a church would do their services on a Sunday too. So
they do church services on Sunday. Several
Wow.
churches have done food drives that they've
Yes.
used that as a location to
Yep.
both to accept food and then also to distribute food during coronavirus. So we really want it to
amazing.
be that kind of central part of the community for just about anything.
very much so. That's awesome. So what is your favorite part of all of that you just talked about with the Trash Pandas? What do you love and look forward to?
Well, I'm a baseball guy. I grew
the
up
sport
with
itself.
baseball. So watching the baseball, really kind of being able to kind of geek out on those statistics and watching some of these guys come and play that later are going to be in the major leagues. So again, we all. When we were here, younger days could say, we saw Jose Canseco play and some of these guys that went on to be major stars in the major leagues. So now our kids can go do the same thing, and watching those kids out there on that area we call the berm. If you haven't been out there, go and just spend half an inning watching the kids playing out there and running up to the fence and doing the cheers and such. And it's just an area where, families can go. It's very, very cost effective. Tickets are $12 for some of those areas. So, everybody really can find something to do at that park.
That's great. Thank you so much, Joey. So aside from the Trash Pandas and from the different areas that we've already talked about, is there anything else that you would want to let our viewers know about, especially with the growth of the Tennessee Valley?
Really, it's just that again, you want to try to have these communities that kind of can appeal to a wide variety of different income levels,
Sure.
different interests. Because we do have people moving in here from all over. It's funny to me because as people will come into the community new, I usually will ask them, what has brought you here? Have you moved here with FBI? Or are you coming here for Toyota jobs? And to a large
Did you
extent,
get away from California or New York?
Right. Well, you end up with a lot of people, especially younger folks or young families, that say, we've heard it's a great place. We heard there's lots of opportunity here, and so they almost just kind of come here, kind of take that risk and just move here, knowing that they're moving to a great place and they're going to be able to find a good job, and that's really kind of flattering for this community.
Yeah.
And again, we need to make sure that we have those housing products for those folks, and kind of just again all up and down the spectrum.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Joey. All that information, so great. Thank you. I hope you got some great insight too, which I'm sure you did. So if you love what we're doing here, of course, we're going to continue that conversation with Joey as things develop and continue to pop up in Town Madison, Cliff Farms, different areas around town. But of course, go ahead and like our Facebook page, mybrandnewhomes.com. We also have behind the scenes tours and exclusive content like we had for the Trash Pandas and the area of Town Madison, like the clubhouse there. Exclusive content to join our private Facebook group, Behind the Walls, linked in the comments below. So thanks again, Joey, for coming on.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Mills with My Brand New Homes. Next home, Kel Mitchell.